Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a metaphorical hypnosis session designed to activate and unlock feelings of self-belief and courage and a willingness to move forward. And one of the favorite metaphors that I have for requiring courage or making a big life decision is the metaphor of taking a leap into the unknown. And one of the ways that you can do that, you can look at physical leaps like a bungee jump or a deep dive. I wanted to do something different, and the world is a very beautiful place. And I did some research and found that there is a giant sinkhole underwater just off the coast of Belize called the Great Blue Hole. And I thought, imagine being one of the first people to discover this giant sinkhole under, like on the surface of the ocean floor, already underwater, and then it goes even deeper. The amount of courage you would have needed to be the very first to go into that Great Blue Hole would have been immense, because very dark, you don't know what's in there. That's real courage. So the Great Blue Hole represents a metaphorical deep dive using scuba as a catalyst to imagine going under the Caribbean Sea into this deep blue hole, but linking it to empowering resourceful states like courage, like self-belief. And the great thing about diving into the unknown is the unknown can represent anything. Think of a big challenge like setting up a new business. There are so many unknown variables that you couldn't possibly predict. That is a dive into the unknown. Imagine moving country and setting up a new life. That is a dive into the unknown. I'm a big admirer of those people that have the courage to follow dreams and goals, even when they have no way of knowing what will happen. That's real courage. That's real vision. And one of the ways in which you can get to that point is to activate the resource state of faith. I'm not talking about a religious faith. I'm talking about the deep self-belief of trusting in your own capability to deal with problems as they arise. I was fortunate enough to set up my first proper business when I was 23 years old. I'd had smaller businesses before then. And I knew that I wouldn't have the answers to all of the questions, but I just trusted myself that I could solve them as they came up. And that is a leap into the unknown. And generally, the world rewards those people that take risks. Think of the entrepreneurs, the visionaries, the explorers. Taking a risk, because it has the possibility of going wrong, is something we highly regard in society. What most people don't realize, though, is that there is a way of looking at taking big risks in a way that whatever happens, you win. And the way that you do that is to have this frame of reference that even if it doesn't go to plan, you're going to come out wiser for the experience. You're going to be more knowledgeable, more experienced than you were before. And more importantly, because you've shown courage in that situation, you then build these neural pathways so that you're not intimidated by future big decisions and risks in the future. That enables you to be formidable. It enables you to be courageous, rather than what most people do is they crave security and safety, which leads to a safe but quite often unfulfilling life. for this particular session, all I would do to enable you to get more out of the session than just listening passively is to think of what would represent a big life decision for you that could lead to really positive outcomes, but has a lot of unknown variables. And just hold that in mind as you listen to this session, using this kind of deep hole in the ocean floor as a metaphor for the unknown. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a slow, long, deep breath. A breath of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, allow your eyelids to close. And in your outward breath, allow any feelings of tension and stress to slowly but surely start to leave your body in that outward breath. Simply by breathing in and breathing out, you're able to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. As you breathe in, start to notice perhaps tension in your jaw or your neck or your shoulder, and give permission to let go of that tension. It's not needed here. So allow the tension to melt away as you start to feel deeper and more relaxed. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you are on a boat in the crystal clear waters not far from the Caribbean Sea, just off the coast of Belize. The waters are calm, gentle rocking of the boat. Skies are blue, and you can feel the sun on your skin. And just notice how your breathing slows down as you imagine being safely on the surface of the water, under blue skies and sunshine, feeling that any remaining tension is melting away like an ice cream in the sunshine. Feels good just to relax, to feel comfortable. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that beneath the surface of that Caribbean Sea lies a deep, deep hole into the unknown. They call it the Great Blue Hole, a sinkhole in the ocean. I want you to get a sense that it's a magical, mysterious, deep hole that's already under the surface of the water. A place where scuba divers submerge into the hole to explore. In life, there will always be a decision to do things where you don't know what will happen. Sometimes decisions are made where you're drifting into the unknown. And that's where courage, self-belief is more important than knowing exactly what will happen. So just imagine there on that boat, you're putting on the wetsuit, the oxygen tank, the mask, and the tube to enable you to breathe and feel a wonderful sensation of falling backwards into the ocean, entering a magical world where you can see the fish, you can see the sunlight shimmering through the surface of the water. And I want you to imagine that you are making your way to the great blue hole. Feel your body move as you swim towards the hole, and notice your slow, deliberate breathing, that fresh oxygen, as you get closer and closer to what looks like a never-ending hole into nothingness. But you're just swimming towards that place. Beneath the Caribbean sunlit grace lies a circle of deep, darkened blue. A diver takes one calming breath and plunges into this marine hue. Down, down, where light gently fades, past coral cliffs and creatures small, towards the great blue hole he glides, enthralled by the silent call. The water's embrace, firm yet kind, guides him through this liquid space. A world inverted, time erased, in this submerged, tranquil place. The diver swims in quiet awe of stalactites vast and old. In the heart of Belize's pride, mysteries in the depths untold. With every fin's gentle sweep, he honors the ocean's hallowed zone. A scuba diver's dreamlike drift into the blue abyss unknown. I want you to imagine yourself standing at the edge of the great blue hole, feeling the water around you, feeling that weightlessness, but still standing on the edge, ready to embrace the adventure that awaits. Gravity is different there in the sea, but as you take the leap, feel the surge of courage flowing through you, powerful as the ocean. With each breath, draw in the strength and tranquility of the waters, filling you with self-belief. Through the mask, you can see the clarity of the water, much like the clarity of your purpose, guiding you with certainty. You're not falling into this hole. You're gradually submerging into the hole and sense the support of the ocean's depths, reminding you that you are buoyed by your inner resources. As you descend, let the silence of the sea quiet any doubts, leaving only confidence. Feel the warmth of the sunlit surface on your back. A reassuring touch of the familiar as you explore new depths. Feel the sensation of the water in your fingers on your toes and embrace the calmness around you. A reflection of your own inner stillness and resolve. And you see marine life there and acknowledge them as your allies, guiding you towards your goal with their serene presence. There's something otherworldly underneath the surface of the water, almost like you're no longer on Earth. And enjoy the sensation as you let the gradual descent into the blue be a metaphor for your gradual growth into greatness. Each kick, each stroke taking you deeper represents a step forward in your life's journey, filled with determination. You're alone but not lonely. You feel courage, determination. You feel safe as you allow the vastness around you to expand your sense of possibility, opening up to new horizons. And the deeper you go, the more you trust in your ability to navigate the unknown. So much of life is unpredictable, and yet you unlock the faith and the confidence to continue to move forward. With every breath, affirm to yourself, I am capable, I am strong, I am ready. Perhaps you can imagine the very first explorer that visited this deep blue hole and feel a connection to that explorer and those who came before you, drawing from their legacy of bravery. Evaluate that the darkness below isn't a threat, but as the rich soil from which your dreams will bloom. As you believe in your power to rise again to the surface, appreciate the journey itself evolves you and enlightens you. When you get as far as you're willing to go, appreciate you are beyond your comfort zone. You went into the unknown and are now more courageous and wiser than you were before. In these tranquil depths, you've learned something new about yourself, knowing that you carry a world of potential within you. It's time to leave this deep blue hole as you start making your way up to the surface, knowing that the pressure of the deep water helped mold you into an even more resilient and adaptable self. It's not long before you're still in the ocean, but no longer in the blue hole. And as you emerge from the blue hole, you carry with you an unshakable trust in your path, wherever it may lead. Swimming past coral cliffs and fish, rising, all the way till you reach the surface. It's not far away and you can see your boat. As you swim to the boat, climbing on board, removing your mask, your oxygen tank, feeling the natural aftermath of the change in pressure. I want you to get a sense that in the future, what represents the unknown won't be considered undesirable or dangerous, something to avoid, but an adventure where you become stronger, more courageous, wiser, and evolved. And I wonder what represents the unknown in your life. What deep unknown are you now willing to move into with the absolute courage, faith, and self-belief that everything will be fine? Breathing in and breathing out, imagine the boat taking you back to shore. Still feeling the wonderful sun of the Caribbean, melting away any tension, feeling that it's time to return to the present, accepting that this adventure into the deep blue hole was just a thought within a thought, an idea within an idea, a dream within a dream. And as you return fully to the present, exactly where you are right now, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect with being fully in the present right now, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken, feeling courageous, confident, full of self-belief, unshakable in the pursuit of whatever you desire, even if what you desire exists in the deep unknown. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.